Israel says it's engaged in a war against Hamas to the bitter end as the death toll in Gaza continues to rise. Palestinian medical officials say the death toll from Israeli airstrikes in the Gaza Strip rose to 315 by Monday morning. Israel's defense minister says the country is engaged in a war to the bitter end against Hamas. Liu Yanhua has more.
Israel continued airstrikes against security targets in Gaza for a third straight day, destroying symbols of Hamas rule in the isolated region. Other targets of airstrikes included a house next door to the residence of the leader of Hamas and a building at an Islamic university closely linked with the group. Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak said the operation would continue and even intensify. He said the operation's goal was to force Hamas to stop his hostile actions directed at Israeli civilians.
We want peace, and we have reached out more than once to the Palestinian people. We have nothing against the people of Gaza, but we do have a war to the bitter end against Hamas and its extensions.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas renewed his condemnation of Israel's offensive.
We condemn with the strongest terms this sweeping Israeli aggression against our people in Gaza, and we call on the international community and the Arab world to stop this aggression, and for calm to be returned to the Gaza Strip so as not to increase the suffering of the people and the siege.
Abbas says he will soon hold talks with the leaders of Palestinian factions, including the Hamas movement, to discuss the deteriorating situation. Liu Yanhua, CCTV.
People have taken to the streets in various countries protesting against Israel's airstrikes on Gaza and showing their support for the Palestinian people. Yang Yan has that story.
Several hundred demonstrators protested in Indonesia's capital Jakarta on Monday. The country's government pledged $1 million in cash and $200,000 in medical supplies for the victims in Gaza. President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono held a news conference denouncing Israel's military action in Gaza.
I signed a letter today to be sent to the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon and the President of the Security Council to strongly condemn Israel's excessive and disproportionate military action, which has caused heavy casualties and material losses.
Meanwhile, in Iraq, around 1,000 demonstrators protested in the country's capital, Baghdad. Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki's party issued a statement condemning the Israeli attacks, calling on Islamic countries to cut relations with Israel and end all secret and public talks with it. On Sunday, Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad addressed a session of the Iranian cabinet in Tehran.
You should take swift action and send a complaint against Israeli leaders. You should file a complaint inside the country and also with the international police.
Also on Sunday, about 30 people gathered outside the Israeli embassy in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, denouncing Israeli actions in the Gaza Strip. Yang Yan, CCTV.